Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of our deep dive into Manchester United's shocking decision to sack Ruben Amorim. In the first part, we looked at the reasons behind the move, the stats, the fan reactions. Now, we are going to tackle one of the most crucial aspects of this whole saga, the timing. Was sacking Amorim mid-season a stroke of genius or a recipe for disaster? Let's get into it. Sacking a manager at any point is a massive decision, but doing it mid-season? That's a whole different level of risk. It is a high-stakes gamble that can either rescue a failing campaign or send an already shaky team into a complete nosedive. The big question we have to ask is, was this a calculated, strategic move by the United board, or was it a moment of pure panic? The answer to that question will ultimately determine whether this decision was the right one. Let's first consider the best-case scenario. If the club had a clear, well-thought-out replacement plan in place, then this could be a masterstroke. Imagine the board had already identified their top target, held secret talks, and got a firm agreement that a new manager could come in immediately. In this situation, sacking Amorim mid-season allows the new gaffer to get a head start. They get several crucial months to assess the squad, implement their own tactics, and identify which players fit their system and which don't. This isn't just about saving the current season, it's about getting a jump on the next one. The new manager gets to experience the Premier League pressure cooker firsthand, understand the dressing room dynamics, and work with the recruitment team to build a precise transfer list for the summer window. They're not starting from scratch in August, they're hitting the ground running. This kind of proactive management can transform a club's trajectory, turning a potentially lost season into a foundational period for future success. It signals ambition, decisiveness, and a clear vision from the top. If this was the plan, it's a bold but potentially brilliant move. However, there's the other side of the coin, and it's a much darker one. What if this was a panic move? What if the board, rattled by a string of bad results, media pressure, and angry fan sentiment, simply hit the eject button without a parachute? Sacking a manager without a clear replacement lined up is one of the most dangerous things a club can do. It creates a power vacuum. The team is left in limbo, often under an interim manager who may not have the authority or the long-term vision to truly command respect from the players. This uncertainty trickles down to the pitch. Players might start to wonder about their own futures. Will the new manager like them? Will the system change? Will they be sold in the summer? This kind of instability can absolutely destroy morale. Training sessions can lose their intensity, and on match days, you see performances that lack cohesion and fight. The entire season can spiral out of control. We've seen it happen time and time again at other clubs. A panic sacking leads to a chaotic managerial search, where the club ends up appointing their third or fourth choice out of desperation. This rarely ends well. It often leads to another poor season, another sacking, and the vicious cycle continues. This is the nightmare scenario for United fans. Was the pressure just too much? Did they sack Amorim simply to appease the critics without a concrete plan for what comes next? So, which one is it? A strategic reset or a chaotic implosion? The truth will reveal itself in the coming weeks. The single most important factor is the speed and quality of the next appointment. If United announce a top-tier manager with a proven track record within a week or two, it will lend massive credibility to the idea that this was a planned, strategic decision. It will suggest that the board knew exactly what they were doing. They had their man, and they pulled the trigger on Amorim at what they felt was the opportune moment to bring him in. This would calm the fans, reassure the players, and give everyone a sense of direction and renewed hope for the remainder of the season and beyond. It would frame the board as being decisive and in control. But if weeks turn into a month, and we are just hearing a revolving door of rumours, with different names being linked to the job every single day, then it points overwhelmingly towards a panic move. A prolonged, public search for a new manager is a terrible look for a club of Manchester United's stature. It signals disorganisation and a lack of foresight. It tells the world that there was no succession plan. It suggests that they fired their manager and only then started thinking, okay, now what do we do? This kind of public indecisiveness can be incredibly damaging. It weakens the club's negotiating position with potential candidates and makes the whole organisation look amateurish. The longer the uncertainty drags on, the more likely it is that the season will completely unravel. The players will be left rudderless, the fans will grow more frustrated, and any momentum, however small, will be lost. When you look at the landscape of world football right now, the timing becomes even more complicated. Are there elite, available managers just sitting by the phone waiting for a call? Not really. The very best coaches are almost always employed and locked into long-term contracts. Prying a top manager away from another big club mid-season is exceptionally difficult and incredibly expensive. It often involves massive compensation packages and tense negotiations. This makes the timing of Amorim's sacking even more perplexing. Did United think they could easily lure someone like a Zidane, a Flick, or another high-profile name away from their current situation or their sabbatical? Or is their target someone who is currently out of a job? The pool of available, top-class managers is quite small. This is the gamble the board has taken. They are betting that they can secure a significant upgrade on Ruben Amorim right now, in the middle of the season, which is arguably the hardest time to do so. Ultimately, the decision to sack Ruben Amorim will be judged by what happens next. The timing can only be called right if it leads to a positive outcome. If a new manager comes in, steadies the ship, improves results, and lays the groundwork for a successful future, then history will remember this as a brave and necessary decision. The board will be hailed for their courage and vision. But if the club stumbles through the rest of the season with an interim coach, appoints a lackluster replacement in the summer, and continues to underperform, then this will be seen as yet another catastrophic error in a long line of them. It will be remembered as the moment a difficult season turned into a complete disaster, all because of a poorly timed, panicky decision. For Manchester United, the clock is ticking. Their next move will tell us everything we need to know. Thanks for watching, everyone. What do you think about the timing? Was it a masterclass in management or a moment of madness? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. We'll be following this story every step of the way. See you in the next one.